It's 2:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The date 8/26 of calendar 2013. The topic with the MMTs, and welcome to the U.S. traders and our worldwide traders. What we want to point out is how the high frequency algorithmic program using computer cycles to generate buys and sell scripts before other people can really ever get in the trade, and how they can get them to such an overbought area. It's an artificial move. They're all generated with those machines, and a lot of people don't understand how they work. But our diamond system, which has a certain price on a 60-minute chart, tomorrow it's going to be $2.34 per 1 quarter delta in our system. That's each one of these lines, and they're very accurate to the penny. So when the algorithm had been breaking these diamonds higher, they pull back, they come right back, but they continue to go. And it happened when we had the NASDAQ shut down. And what we really want to show you is that Netflix is going to trade between now and the end of this calendar month and going in, because once the algorithm changes its mathematical course, and how do we know that? Well, it's this right here. On the monthly level, this thing is at, well, let me give you the reading. The reading that I have here on the percent K is 96.54%. That means that the algorithm, which is an artificial program that, you know, to the trader or investor, it's not a fair game, but they can trade and front run these stocks to these highs, and then they've got to such a level being overbought here with the algorithm that when you look at the weekly, well, it peaked at 100% overbought on the weekly, and it didn't reach that capitulation high in the algorithm. Once the algorithm reached the capitulation high, then you finally got the reversal on Netflix. And I'll share with my MMTs once again on the recap of the day. You can see where that high reversal was on the daily and how these daily bars were done with all the algorithms on a low volume tape in the month of the dog days of what? August. Now, on the 60-minute, look at our diamonds. Look at our market maker platform. Kaboom! And as soon as he hit the high, and here was the high of the day, 289.94. And guess what? On the opening bell, he had dropped it to the low of 274. When was this high finally put in with the bot system? 8/26, 2013 at 1 o'clock p.m. on a 3-minute level up here. And then it had the reversal all the way down to this low. The low was 285.73. That's what your 60-minute bar was, reversal in the bot that they ran these bots parabolically up. These track those high frequency models, is these diamonds at certain mathematical price levels, either the rate of change breaking out that they use and or the rate of change when they're going to cross them. They're always going to cross and sell the bid, and selling the bid is when they fall. And Netflix will continue to go down through, it'll be in ranges, and we're going to trade it all the way back down here to 258 from the 288. That's $30 down between now and the end of September. It's not going to go straight down there in one day. No, they don't do that. They'll bounce off of support and go up, and you know, they'll be in certain dollar range intraday for a number of compounded days. So it had a $15.90 range finally, and we can clearly see that from 289.94 to the lows of the next 60-minute bar reversal was 285.61. So that's all we got out of it, was that right here. Actually, that was on the first pass, and it gapped down and made the final lows. It made the final low of 282.50. So we have the first low as I described. Now we factor in the next low on the 60. So your total second range from the top is 289.94 to that 60-minute bar low is 282.5. So basically, each one of these lines are 1/4 delta mathematically. Now it tracks it in this price range, the high frequency algorithms. For new people, what you need to do, and everyone should do this, is go to services, go to HFT trading courses, click on it, come right over here and click on the Ghost Exchange. Once you click on the Ghost Exchange, you can watch the hour and 20-minute long movie. And in that movie is stockmarketfunding.com. We trained a lot of, people around the subject, but what it's going to do, it's going to explain to you by the actors in here, and Stock Market Funding, we're in the film credits. It's a joint effort to get the unfair practice of people buying stocks ahead of what you actually do in the tape, and that the technologies have to be removed, and the technologies either totally removed and or modified in the exchange model system, period. And all of your answers that you can relate, if you want to relate to stockmarketfunding.com, and about 6 minutes were in the movie because I called for the capitulation to happen in May of 2010. So the algorithms and some of the technology systems that are used, you can find it in here. That's what you do. And that's what you need to do at stockmarketfunding.com. Go to trading. If you're a very interested individual that really wants to get in here and beat these markets, and click Get Started today. The comparison chart that's going to be up next, we're just going to throw this comparison chart on both. We're going to blow up. This chart is the TSLA. It's already in its own separate video. But what we're doing here is look at the differences in how they played out. Here we are once again, folks. It's 164.22 currently on the Tesla trade. But the lesson to learn is how the reversals happen on the 60-minute level, both stocks. So both of these stocks are in a high algorithmic buy and sell script. We have a complete video on Tesla. Once again, MMTs, they both have the identical pattern in the algorithmic model. One of the things that we're going to do tomorrow is, because those algorithms have read their course, both Netflix and Tesla have a lot of risk for the bull of these things selling right back down in the same mathematical equation that they both went up in. So here is the 60-minute chart on its own, and you can see where these algorithms had played their courses off of the bottom, starting down here on these lows right here, with the low being 241.38, making certain highs on 8.6. On 8.6, we had it working where the highs were 257, but the next 60-minute bar would come back and hit a low and have a $7 reversal. Okay, that was back in early August on 8.6. And then we would bounce up and we would sell off, and that algorithm was trading in its normal state, its normal high frequency model. Then when we got other sell-offs here during this time frame, Netflix would perform right of 263.79, and we would get the reversals to 251. That's because the algorithmic model had crossed the bid and sold it down. Then from the level of where the high frequency model came in, and remember the NASDAQ was shut down, and it wasn't until when the NASDAQ was shut down in Netflix is when that algorithm came back into play and made all-time highs. The capitulation of the algorithm from this low, and I can only repeat it again, 251 to where? To this high. And this is done on 820, when we made a high up here of 267 right there in that 60-minute bar. Then it came back and made this 60-minute bar high. It's a diamond dot right now, but we know that the 60-minute bar, that those highs were exactly 289.94. And this is what it looks like in a standard daily model. Here in a 15-minute model, you can see where the algorithm had just walked this thing up. Supercomputers bought it to the high. Now it has a reversal. MMTs, we're going to get this stock at least 1 to 2,000 shares at a lower high and let it trade down $3 to $5 and walk away with the pie. And once again, we will do the limit orders. The algorithmic models have reached their peak in price.